Hello everyone, Richard here at Calvin Wazoo, where you don't have to tell me all the things you do. And we're doing another Song X Song episode. This time we're going to pit two really good Fleetwood Mac releases. And those are going to be this one here, Kiln House. And we'll be going up against Bare Trees. Now, Kiln House was released in 1970, Bare Trees in 1972. Both of these albums are post Peter Green era. So the lineup in Kiln House, and by the way, this is really lovely design going into the gatefold by Christine McVie. We had a little Pooh Bear down there. You know, it's got the little gnome fishing in a pond. Yeah, it's very, very whimsical, wonderful illustration. As long as I'm talking about that, you know, Bare Trees, we've got this sort of like spare, austere, I think it's a watercolor, not a photograph, cover photo. Oh, it is a photo by John McVie. And it's got some water damage on my cover, but yeah, just sort of a more ethereal and sparse feel with the cover. So the lineup we have on Kiln House is you have Danny Kerwin on guitar and vocals, Jeremy Spencer on guitar and vocals, and piano also, excuse me. Then John McVie on bass and Mick Fleetwood doing drums. Christine McVie, as I mentioned, did the cover art, and she may have provided some backing vocals, but she didn't get credited. She wouldn't be credited until later. I think, if I remember here, quick check as I go back here. So Kiln House was released ahead of Bare Trees, but then came Future Games. That was in between. And Christine McVie might have been in Future Games, but I'm unfamiliar with that album. I don't have it. But anyway, the lineup with this one, Bare Trees, is we're getting Danny Kerwin on guitar, but by this time Jeremy Spencer is gone. We have Bob Welch come in on guitar and vocals. We got Mick Fleetwood again on drums, and then John McVie on bass, and then officially Christine McVie on keyboards and vocals. So yeah, Jeremy with Kiln House. Now this was the first record they did after Peter Green's departure, which he just abruptly left the band primarily because of the hallucinogenic drug use that he had been involved in. And then Jeremy Spencer kind of took creative control over the band's direction for the most part, although I still feel like there are songs on here that carry a vibe that's very reminiscent of Then Play On. And then with Bare Trees, Jeremy Spencer is gone now. He just disappeared during a tour and joined a religious cult. And then Kerwin, after this album was released, was fired from the band. So Bob Welch is taking more of the creative and directional control of what the band is doing. It's kind of interesting, of the three original members or three key members, you know, they all eventually departed, in some respect because of substance abuse. Peter Green, because of the hallucinogens. Kerwin was fired because of alcoholism. And then Jeremy Spencer, was overall quite the drug user, hence him just taking off and joining that religious cult. So let's talk about the songs, all right? Song X song, that's what we're getting into. So we'll start off with the opening track, 10 tracks, mind you. 10 tracks, possibility of a tie here. Just saying that, okay? Track 1 on Kiln House, we got the opening track is This Is the Rock. And then the opening track for Bare Trees is Child of Mine. This Is the Rock is a Jeremy Spencer song, and Child of Mine is a Danny Kerwin song. Child of Mine is a pop rocker. It's a very standard structure. Danny Kerwin plays really good guitar. He's got a couple very good but brief solos in the song. He's got great tone on the guitar. Fleetwood's drumming is strong and steady. Definitely a very rock solid song and a rock solid opener for the record. This Is the Rock has that nostalgic sound that you get from Jeremy Spencer. He, and with a lot of records, or I should say a lot of the songs attributed to him, you get this Elmore James influence in a lot of his music. This one has that nostalgic sound, but it's sort of Buddy Holly-ish, and with a little bit of Elvis vibe kind of thrown in. It's a bit rockabilly. It's a decent song, but to me, it's kind of a weak opener, given what else is going on the album Kiln House. But it is kind of Spencer's album to a degree. But I'm going to go with Child of Mine for the win from Bare Trees. So with the opening track, it's Kiln House 0 and Bare Trees 1. Then we come up to track 2, which is The Ghost, which is now a Bob Welch song from Bare Trees. And then Station Man, which is a collaboration with Kerwin, Spencer, and McVie on all that song. Now, Station Man. Yeah, this is a great collaboration. It fades in gently, building the rhythm and building with the guitars. I think Christine McVie might be providing some of the backing vocals, but she went uncredited with, until later with any contributions she made other than, the cover art. Kerwin and Spencer, their guitar playing complement each other really well, which wasn't always the case. There was a little bit of, I'm not sure if there was rivalry, but it's my understanding that Jeremy Spencer kind of didn't like playing second fiddle. But anyway, but Kerwin's lead guitar and vocals are really, really strong. His guitar tone is just great. It is one of my favorite Fleetwood Mac songs of all. It's just such a great blues vibe with Station Man. Just love that song. Now, The Ghost, we definitely now are getting the Bob Welch influence coming in with this song, with both its sound and timbre. It's got kind of an AOR sound to it. It's more pop. The bluesy sound that you would associate with early Fleetwood Mac, or at least, with the early Fleetwood. I mean, they were total blues in the very beginning. But the blues is kind of getting a little bit erased by Bob Welch with the sound and the timbre. It's not a bad pop song. I think it's, this is the beginning of the origin of Fleetwood Mac's sound and direction that would be coming later. Even after Bob Welch, when Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham came in, that sound and direction continued with them. So I'm going to go with Station Man for the win. I mean, it is just one of my all-time favorite Fleetwood Mac songs. So now we're got a tie here with Kiln House with 1 to Bare Trees with 1. And then we're up to track number 3. With Kiln House, we have Blood on the Floor. And then Homeward Bound is track number 3 on Bare Trees. Now, Blood on the Floor is a Jeremy Spencer tune. Homeward Bound is, now we're getting a Christine McVie song. So this is like one of her first ones where she's singing. Again, I'm sorry, because I'm not familiar with the one in between these two albums. But this is the first song of hers on the Bare Trees release. And it's a rockin' song. It follows the new sound direction that Welch is establishing. Her keyboards are a great add to the song. And I love Mick Fleetwood's cowbell. It's really, really strong. The guitar is really, really strong in this song. Blood on the Floor is one of Spencer's better songs. It's more blues, with a little bit of country, and his singing to me feels a little more authentic. I say it's one of his better songs because by and large, a lot of the songs that he wrote for Fleetwood Mac, to me, he's just a little too much trying to, channel that Elmore James and that style of playing, which he's really, really skilled at. But there isn't always a lot of variety between his different songs. So I feel like they're not always very distinctive. So that's why I say this one is a little better, and his singing, I think, is definitely a little more authentic. So it's a tough call between these two songs, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Homeward Bound, the Christine McVie song. So now we've got Kiln House with 1 to 2 songs by Bare Trees. So track number 4. From Bare Trees, we have The Sunny Side of Heaven. And then from Kiln House, we have Hi-Yo Silver. Now, Sunny Side of Heaven is a Danny Kerwin song. And then Hi-Yo Silver is a Thomas Fats Waller and Ed Kirkby song, I mean. So the Sunny Side of Heaven presents a very different side of Danny Kerwin. And this is perhaps because of the Bob Welch influence that's being imposed upon the band. It's a very melodic instrumental. The guitars, they provide this rather soft touch. You don't have that stinging, piercing play that you can associate with Danny Kerwin. That's one thing I will say about Fleetwood Mac. When they had 3 guitar players, each one of them, Peter Green, Danny Kerwin, and Jeremy Spencer, had a very distinct and identifiable style of playing. And I have said before, like with Peter Green, his style of playing, it's like his fingers are just floating over the fingerboard. Whereas with Danny Kerwin, he kind of anchors himself on the fretboard, but, going up and down from that anchor point and just really stinging, kind of attacking the strings. You don't get that with this song. As I say, it's a very, very different song. It's a decent song, but there's nothing really, to me, very dynamic about it, or even it's not even very original in my mind. Hi-Yo Silver is a cover, but the arrangement is by Jeremy Spencer. and he rocks this one. All right, it gets you moving. So I'm not sure. I guess it's probably not Christine, but it's probably her husband, Mr. McVie, who I'm drawing a blank now on his name. John. Does he play piano? Is he credited with doing the piano? No, Jeremy Spencer plays piano. He's credited with that. So we're getting, yeah. So he's rocking the piano on this too. Yeah, this is pretty good. So given, I tend to like Danny Kerwin's material better than Jeremy Spencer's, but I'm going to go with Hi-Yo Silver for the win on this one because Jeremy Spencer is really rocking it. It's a really good arrangement. So now we're tied, 2 songs for Kiln House to 2 songs for Bare Trees. So that brings us up to track 5, which has July Judy from Kiln House, and then the title song, Bare Trees. Okay, so July Judy, that's a collaboration of Kerwin, Mick Fleetwood, and John McVie. And then Bare Trees is all Danny Kerwin. That's his song. So July Judy is, again, just really good collaboration with the 3 of them. It begins really easy and melodic. Kerwin's voice, I think, is really fitting for the song. The song builds for the refrain and just really jams, Blue Eye or July Judy, don't leave me alone. It's just really, really good. And it does have that old Fleetwood Mac vibe like you would hear from Then Play On. Just really, really good song. Now, Bare Trees, though, is a boogie song for sure by Kerwin. It's got his signature stinging style of playing. But at the same time, Bob Welch's influence is there in terms of guiding, the band and with its musical direction. It's got great playing. The song Bare Trees, it's great playing. It's got a really strong finish. The interplay between the guitar playing between Welch and Kerwin is really excellent as well. So this is a really tough decision, again, because they're both really good songs. Yeah, and I'm going to go with Bare Trees as the winner for this one. So now we're looking at 3 songs for Bare Trees to 2 songs for Kiln House. Now we're up to track number 6. We've got the hit Sentimental Lady from Bare Trees with Buddy's song on Kiln House. Right, Sentimental Lady is Bob Welch. It's a Bob Welch song. Buddy's song is a cover by Ella Holly, but Spencer is playing, is doing the arrangement and singing. Sentimental Lady, yes, this was a big radio hit by Bob Welch. It's very radio friendly. It's a very easy melody. It doesn't really challenge the listener much, but it is a really good song. It is a really good song. Definitely radio friendly though. And as I said, Buddy's song is a cover, but Jeremy Spencer really nails it. I mean, boom, he just freaking nails it. So I'm liking the songs of Jeremy Spencer's, on this album a lot more than some of the songs that he did on other releases. So Buddy's song, for the win. So now we're tied. Kiln House with 3 songs to Bare Trees, 3 songs. All right, well, coming up to track number 7. We've got, from Kiln House, we've got Earl Grey, and then Danny's Chant on Bare Trees. These are both Danny Kirwan songs. And Earl Grey is a very contemplative instrumental. It kind of, again, calls back a little bit to what was happening in Then Play On. It's a sort of an interlude, the song is, and the guitar playing is soothing. It does it does conjure a cloudy, perhaps foggy day in a cottage in the woods. So it actually kind of speaks well to the cover art for the album, more so than even the song Bare Trees. Danny's Chant starts with this like grinding, distorted fuzz guitar. There's wah-wah going on with the melody. Mick Fleetwood on drums, or he's on these toms. It's just really powerful. The song's got a groove. It's an instrumental, but it has these like echoey vocalizations going on. It's got a really heavy beat. It's almost stoner rock style. Yeah, I like this one in Danny's Chant for the win. So Danny's Chant from Bare Trees makes Bare Trees now with 4 songs to Kiln House with 3. Okay, now we're up to track 8. Spare Me a Little of Your Love from Bare Trees. Okay, and then One Together from Kiln House. Spare Me a Little of Your Love's another Christine McVie song. And then One Together is Jeremy Spencer. Now, Spare Me a Little of Your Love is definitely more melodic and pop. And McVie's voice, her voice is starting to become, to me anyway, a very defining element for the band. I mean, even to a degree, Stevie Nicks kind of brought that same or similar timbre, with her vocals. The song's got kind of an R&B kind of gospel feel to it, and kind of similar maybe what the band would do. And then, it's got this fuzzed up guitar, a guitar solo that I think he's using a whammy bar with that. It's another radio-friendly song for sure. So, probably, I can't remember if it was a hit or not, but yeah, it's a good song, radio-friendly. One Together from Kiln House is a soft touch by Jeremy Spencer. He's even showing a little bit of the tender side, I guess you could say. And it feels a lot more authentic, what he's doing than when he got, gets caught up in that Elmore James shtick that he would do. So yeah, I'm gonna go with One Together for the win on this one. So hey, we're tied again. 4 songs for Kiln House to 4 songs on Bare Trees. And we've only got 2 more songs to go. Well, from Kiln House for track number 9, we've got Tell Me All the Things You Do. And then we've got Dust from Bare Trees. And we've got 2 more Danny Kirwan songs. But they're different, We've got Tell Me All the Things You Do. This is a boogie groove with really great soaring guitar solo interludes. It's almost like a traffic-like jam in the way, maybe, kind of what you might hear on Low Spark or something like that. It's similar. I mean, all these British bands were pretty much doing that kind of, that was kind of the style of the rock that was, emerging at that time. So yeah, it's really, really good jam. I really like Tell Me All the Things You Do. Dust is more of a contemplative piece. It's an easy melody, very ballad-like. Structurally, it's very ordinary though. Probably again because of the Bob Welch influence. So probably not one of Danny Kirwan's better songs in my opinion. So I got to go with Tell Me All the Things That You Do for the win. So now we've got Kiln House with 5 songs to Bare Trees with 4. All right, now we're up to track 10. So either we're going to have a tie or there's going to be a winner. From Bare Trees, it's Thoughts on a Gray Day, the closer. And the closer on Kiln House is Mission Bell. Now, Thoughts on a Gray Day is a poem by Mrs. Scarrott, and that's a pen name for the poet Eileen Katie Mary Huggett. And then Mission Bell is, this is another cover that was originally by William Michael and Jesse Hodges. All right, so yeah, Thoughts of a Great Day. This is a poem being recited by an older woman. She's almost breathless with exuberance and excitement as she is reciting this poem. It fits, again, this is another song that fits really, really well with the mood established in by the cover art for this. But yeah, it's a good closer. All right, it works excellently as a closer for this album. It's not a song though; it's just someone reciting a poem. Mission Bell is another really excellent closer for this album. It is an arrangement by Kirwan and Spencer. So the two of them developed the arrangement, by this cover, but Spencer sings the lead in it. And yeah, I got to go with this one for the win, yeah, Mission Bell for sure. So that means Kiln House is the winner with 6 songs to 4 songs by Bare Trees. Well, there you have it. That's my take on my Song X Song take on these 2 really good albums. They're both really, really good, Kiln House and Bare Trees. Albums by Fleetwood Mac that don't always get much discussion in the vinyl community, for sure. Probably a lot more focus is on the album Then Play On, and then of course Rumors, and the other material that was with Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham. This period, is a solid period. I really enjoy these albums, and like I say, it just doesn't get talked all that much. Getting confirmation from the world around me. All right, so hey, like the video, please. Do the thumbs up. I really appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. But if you already are subscribed, I still urge you to hit the thumbs up because it really helps with distribution of the content. Then remember that I have an Instagram page where I go by the handle of NewsDude76. That's NEWZDUDE76. And then, of course, I have a Facebook page called Calvin Wazoo, where I post these videos, but also other music-related material, both video content and article content. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Leave a comment in the down under. I do like getting them. And as always, remember to pray for the people inside your head, for they won't be there when you're dead.